upside down, we just had a guy called Yanis Kent talking like a machine gun in Greek. This guy called Peter Economides, who, his Greek is terrible. I'm really sorry about that. It's really awesome to be here. I thought that you had to sing like Saki to be up here, but apparently not, so this is really awesome. And I think what Google has done is absolutely amazing. I don't know about you guys, but I felt really good when I walked in here today. It was a good feeling, it was a good vibe. And if you're thinking about the future, I think it helps to feel good. You know, you kind of think better. It makes sense to feel good. I just want to make a couple of comments about that video, which is the perfect introduction to the subject of branding. Because inside that video, we saw two huge brands, which are each very big in their own sphere. Right? Google started in 1998. That's like 14 years ago. Today it's a brand that is known by billions, literally billions of people around the world. Sakis reverse. I mean, in the early 90s, there was no Sakis reverse. And today, I saw some research the other day, Sakis is this incredibly powerful brand icon in Greece. So we've got these two brands that are part of our lives, and then you think, you know, well, what if these brands weren't there? You don't really think that, because they're just like there. But if you think of what it takes to build a brand, you understand how much work goes into it. You don't just become Sakis. You need a vision. You need courage. You need creativity. And believe me, you need a lot of hard work. And you've got to believe that you're going to do it. And then maybe, if you know how to sing, you can become Sakis. Not that easy. So I take my hat off to people like Sakis. I think that they really show us what can be done. Let me explain why my Greek is so bad. By the way, I can speak a bit of Greek, but certainly not good enough to talk here. I'm a third generation Greek South African. I grew up in South Africa. I started working in advertising in South Africa. My dream was to become one of the Mad Men. You know that serial where they drink at 11 o'clock in the morning and there's a gorgeous woman around and they all live in gorgeous apartments. That was my dream. And I joined an ad agency in South Africa, McCann Erickson, and I went from there to Hong Kong. I came to Greece for a while, and I went to Mexico, and then finally I became a big deal in New York, Executive Vice President of McCann Erickson Worldwide, and I was responsible for running the Coca-Cola business, which is $1.8 billion worth of advertising around the world back then. 1996, 95. I left McCann and I joined a guy called Vasilis Stragos, otherwise known as Bill Tragos, from St. Louis. His father's from Kalamata. And he was the founder of an agency called TBWA, which is one of the sexiest, most famous agencies in the world. And it's great working with Bill, I really loved it. And I came to Greece on a business trip. And I was staying at the Astia in Guliarmeni, and I saw the sunset. I swear this is true. I was with a Greek friend of mine, and I said, I'm leaving New York. She said, you're nuts. I said, no, I'm leaving New York. Because I decided I'd rather live with sunsets like that, and the inspiration of a country like this, than in New York. And I came back. I got into a taxi one day, and this guy asked me where I'm from. I said about New York, and he says to me, "Γιατί γύρισες? Αφού είσαι καλή δουλειά." So I tried to explain to him about sunsets and stuff, but he didn't get it. Right? Then he says to me, "Where are you from?" So I said, "South Africa." He says, and his face lights up. And he starts to me, what a wonderful man Nelson Mandela is. I said, "I agree with you." Then he says to me, "Do you know that he's Greek?" I said, "Oh shit." Then he starts to explain to me that actually Nelson Mandela's father is guy called Mandilas from Thessaloniki. So I said to the guy, do me a favor, drop me off the next corner. I got out. I don't know where he's going to send me next, this guy. A few days later, I went to get my work permit, Alia Paramonis, and I walked into this office, and there are people pretending to work. And after like 45 minutes, somebody actually speaks to me, and I say what I want, and they said, we can't give it to you. I said, why? They said, you're Greek. I said, okay. I said, what do I do? She said, unacceptable. So I figured out that what I maybe have to do is try to get taftodita. Right? So I go to the other side of town, all in the same kind of office, people sitting around pretending to work, nobody doing anything. And I said, I'd like taftodita. She can't get one. I said, why not? You're Xemos. Suddenly I realized why this taxi driver asked me why I returned. So I did what most people do. I said, I'm not dealing with the government. Right? Got myself an attorney, paid him some money. I'm sure he'll give a bit of, you know what I mean. And I got my taftodita eventually. So that's my story. We're going through a horror story. We're going through a horror story. We're seeing things happening every day which is scary. And it's almost like they're happening on another planet. You know, it's like you're watching a bad movie and you feel that you're helpless, there's nothing you can do, you're scared, you're frightened. And I feel like that. I can tell you that right now. And then you realize, hey, this is not another planet. It's right now. It's happening right here. It's happening to me. It's happening to people I know. And suddenly you realize that you're going to do something about it. You can't just wait. You can't. And you realize that you can't buy your way out of this crisis. You can't sell your way out of this crisis. You can't beg, borrow, or steal your way out of this crisis. Not anymore. And you realize that you have to create your way out of this crisis. Because there's no other way forward. You have to do something. No other way forward. One of the most commonly used words in the Greek language is malaka. We all know that, right? Yes, malaka, yes, malaka. And we use it a lot. The second most common word is then ginete. Then ginete means I don't feel like doing it. It's a very flexible word, by the way, versatile. It also means it can't be done. It means it can be done, but I'm busy having lunch right now. It means all sorts of things. But then ginete is the second most common phrase in this country. Sometimes they combine the words together. Then ginete malaka. Ginete. We're going to take this then word and just get rid of it and stay with the ginete. Because ginete. By the way, it's got to ginete. Because if it doesn't ginete, we're in deep shit. We have to create our own crisis. Which is why I was talking about Strategist. Strategist does not go on stage saying they ginete. The Greek football team in 2004 did not walk into the stadium in Lisbon saying they ginete. Dinos Dimas did not say they ginete. And the guys who built the Parthenon certainly did not say they ginete. Γιατί ginete. Ginete. I'm going to spend the next 20 minutes or so talking about branding. I'm going to tell you what branding is. By the way, I'm not a politician. I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm not an activist. I'm not a young and angry young man. I wish I was. I'm a brand guy. And I'm going to talk to you like a brand guy. Okay? I was asked to speak at a conference in Thessaloniki. There were 300 people there. And 3 months later, my mother's the proudest woman on earth because I've been named the second most influential Greek in the world. She feels great about that. She does. Just to demonstrate power of the internet, I reckon that my speech in Thessaloniki has been seen in one way or another by around 600,000 people around the world in 3 months. That's the power of the internet. That's the power of the internet. What it cost me? Nothing. I did nothing. I gave a speech. From there it went on social media and it went viral. Okay? Brand is what people think of you. Nothing more, nothing less. It's your reputation. The Greek word theme, by the way, διαφήμιση, is dealing with your theme. Okay? That's what branding is. It's your reputation. Branding is a little different. Branding is the process of managing your reputation. Okay? It's influencing what people think of you. Okay? In other words, what I decide to wear is branding because it influences what people think of me. By the way, we all got reputations, we all got brands. As people, as countries, as everything. We can manage those reputations. Greece is one of the greatest brands that's never been branded. And let me tell you why I'm saying this. There's a statement from Strategist. Europe without Greece is like a child without a birth certificate. Valery Strategist. He's right, by the way. The world knows that he's right. Ask the Chinese. They know it. They know it. A little while later, out comes that. Fraudsters in the Euro family. Fraudsters in the Euro family. Using exactly the same image that I used in the previous slide. And then at the end of October, we get that, which is the French Minister for European Affairs saying that Greece is something we can live without. Wow, that hurts. That hurts. The big question is, can we go from where we were through what we are in right now and go back to where we were? And should we do it? Because branding is the process of managing reputation. To me, the answer is right there. We're Greeks. We have the power to imagine, and now is the time to imagine the future. I want to address, I saw a little Twitter on my phone, somebody said, well, somebody please tell Mr. Economides that you can't brand a good product. Well, my answer is, you can't create a good product if you don't brand yourself. Okay? You gotta feel it inside. Then you can go and do things. Okay? I want to tell a story about one of the most remarkable turnarounds in the history of business, and I think that I'm fairly correct in saying that. I've been very lucky, by the way, but one of the most lucky things in my life was working with Steve Jobs. It was 1997, September 97, which I believe is the month that Google.com was stood first as a domain, by the way. In 1997, Apple was irrelevant and bankrupt. I am not exaggerating. Their shares were selling at €5 on the Nasdaq. Their machines were pathetic. They were slow. They were expensive. There was no reason to buy an Apple. None whatsoever. 14 years later, it's the world's second most valuable company after General Electric. 14 years. Okay? Now I was on, is it 15 years? I heard somebody say parapano in there. Alright, I'm only alive for 1 year. which were the relaunch of Apple. We did a very famous piece of communication called Think Different. By the way, somebody else in that team is a guy called Andy Burnt. The people from Google will know who he is. He's the managing director of a company called Google Creative Lab. He was the account director. I was the global director of client services. And we had the job of relaunching Apple, of putting fire back into Apple. Okay. We did a commercial which, whoever's seen the YouTube video has seen the commercial, so I thought I'd rather just put some of the images up. We did a commercial featuring all these people: Einstein, Muhammad Ali, Maria Callas, Bob Dylan was in it, Hitchcock. By the way, all these people are, or were, something were, personal heroes of Steve Jobs. He personally chose who he put into that. Nobody could tell him who to put into that movie. He decided. Okay. All personal heroes of his. And we wrote a script. By the way, the film is called Think Different. It finishes with a young girl opening her eyes. Okay. It's a beautiful piece of film. It's become one of the classics in advertising. Here's the copy, and I want to read it to you. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs and the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They are not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them. Does that sound familiar? To me that sounds like Greek. I'm being serious. Our DNA is exactly that. It's exactly that. Now the question is, can we do this? Because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Let's be crazy. We need to be crazy. Steve Jobs was, I've said this, I mean, you know, the most amazing client to have worked for. He died a couple of months ago. Rest in peace, genius. How did we do this? By the way, I do not want to create the impression that because we made this commercial, we kind of like created the most valuable company or the second most valuable company in the world. But it started here. Right? This put the path right. It set up the vision. It set up the values. What we did is we did deep into Apple DNA to reignite the flame. We spoke about the why. The how and the what came later in the form of iMac, iPod, iTunes, iPhone, and iPad. Steve Jobs did not say, I want to create the second most valuable company in the world. What he did say is, I want to make a dent on the universe. He also said, good enough is not good enough. He also said, I would rather be with the pirates than with the Navy. That's the why. Okay? Because of that kind of why, that's why he developed the stuff that he did. Okay? That's terribly important. We need to figure out why we want to do something. Greece has richer DNA than any nation on earth. And I say that very, very comfortably. I mean, just think of the DNA of this country. It's rich. It's incredibly rich. It's just the heart, the soul, and the spirit of the Mediterranean. Greece needs to own this. Greece needs to express it. Greece needs to inspire and be inspired by this. Can I have this monitor on, please? Is it possible? This monitor? By the way, let's take the word Greece out of it. Greeks need to own this. Greeks need to express this. Greeks need to inspire this, and Greeks need to be inspired by this. It's not about advertising your way out of this. It's not about doing a logo to get yourself out of this, or a slogan. It's about how you feel thinking. It's about how you feel inside you, each and every one of us, that allows us to create our way out of this. spent a lot of money over the years on advertising tourism. I will not comment on the logo with the 9 rings. If anybody wants to hear my point of view, it's on YouTube. Please have a look at it. We spent a lot of money advertising some of the most beautiful beaches in the world, some of the most amazing, amazing monuments. And we've done all of this with the spirit of Zorba hovering in the background. Because that's the spirit that was born during the 60s, right? And kind of like culminated in a movie called Zorba Rebranding with Anthony Quinn. Right? And I think that maybe we've kind of overdone the Zorba bit. I think that we need some balance. Because I think that Zorba, every German has met his own Zorba on an island somewhere, and he's loved him. But now he kind of says, I understand why you can relax on the beach all day, huh? Because you cheat. You don't pay your taxes. You retire at the age of 47, and all the cliches come back and feed into this image of Zorba, and he's the problem. Somebody the other day, so I said we've got to park Zorba, just putting aside for now. Somebody the other day said to me, well, you know, και Economides, για πόσο πρέπει να παρκάρουμε? Και του είπα, μέχρι το Σαββατοκύριακο. We need balance, this is the point. We need to bring Apollo into our thing. We need some balance. International arrivals. Here are some figures for Turkey, Greece, and Croatia for the years 2000 through 2010. In 2000, the international arrivals to those 3 markets were 25 million. In 2010, there were 51 million. Our market share went from 50% in the year 2000 to 29% in the year 2010. Turkey, by the way, went from 38 to 53. That is not called success. No way. To lose share in a growing market is not success. We need to do that. We've got to reset. What is a brand? And can we talk about a nation as a brand? By the way, nation branding is an idea that became very trendy and hip during the late 90s. And a lot of ad agencies have made a lot of money out of nation branding. But nation branding is a very old idea. I can imagine when they built the Acropolis, what it did to Athens' reputation. They were nation branding. They were dealing with their reputation. They were affecting how people thought about them. And nations have been doing that forever. There's nothing new about it. It's not about advertising, it's about logos. A brand is nothing more than the set of impressions that lives in people's heads. We've all got these dots in our heads when we think of brands. That's exactly what it is. And everything communicates. Everything you say, everything you don't say, everything you do, everything you don't do, everything that happens to you, everything that does not happen to you, communicates. Because it's your reputation. Okay? So it's not about an ad campaign. It's not about a logo. Google is a wonderful tool. It's a great search engine. But I've discovered that I can also use it as a piece of research, a very effective and very cheap piece of research. If you go into Google and you just search, you start to discover what the world is thinking and talking about. And it's a lot cheaper than going and doing large-scale international research. If you look at Google as a brand barometer, if you put in the word Acropolis, you get about 17.6 million results. Ancient Greece gives you about 15.7. Mykonos about 3.4. Zorba, 29.5. Greece crisis, 62.1. Greece corruption, 24.4. Greece riots, 9.7. So that's kind of like what our docs look like. It's pretty scary. It's pretty scary. And that exists in people's minds. And these are the people you're talking to. Okay? There's a bit of a reputation issue here. Those are the pictures that have come here. It's not pretty. But I'm afraid that we don't really make it better. we printed 7 million placemats on the east coast of America, forgetting that placemats are there to keep tables clean. So while eating your cheeseburger, that's what happens. That's not an image of Greece. I'm a very avid Twitter, and this is a tweet that came through the other day. It says, global connections through social media make the world about people more than about politics. And that is so true. And I'm going to be talking a bit about that. It's really important. And we're talking about the internet today. The internet is about people. Okay? You have the power. You have the power. You're also in the tourism business. And it's the glowing star. In an environment where everything is down, tourism was actually up last year, 10%. And I looked at the statistics on a global basis. Next year, tourism will hit for the first time a huge basis. 1 billion international travelers they expect next year. It's huge. But I think what's even more interesting is this chart. This is research done by Nielsen. They did research in 53 markets around the world to look at shopping habits, to look at what people buy online. Okay? When you look at the travel-related categories like airline tickets, tours, hotel reservations, event tickets, concerts, etc., car hire, it's more than 62% of people worldwide are saying that they intend to buy those kind of products online. And by the way, this number goes up like this every year. By the way, I have not included event tickets inside that number, right? Because that's a little dodgy, a little dicey. The 62% are saying they will book airline tickets, make reservations, tours, hotel reservations, and hire cars on the internet. That's huge. What does that mean? That there are 1.2 billion sales opportunities on the internet as we speak. 1.2 billion sales opportunities. Okay? And those sales opportunities exist in a market which in 2012 is expected to be 1 billion international arrivals. I guess I've made my point. The internet is a huge opportunity. Huge. But now I can hear you saying, oh my God, how do you do this stuff? Well, first of all, for $19.99 per month, you've suddenly got global distribution. This has never happened in history before. You give On Telecoms $19.99 a month, oops, you're global. You can reach every single one of those 2 billion internet users around the world. Okay? As long as you've got the right content, as long as you know how to behave online, it's a different kind of world, believe me, and as long as you know how to use the tools, like search engines, Google, Facebook, Twitter, etc., etc., etc. Okay? But that's what you've got, the world at your fingertips. But the first thing to realize is that the web has changed dramatically. Dramatically. We use the web anymore. We inhabit the web. The web has stopped being a tool. People don't surf, right? They go and they hang out. It's a different kind of place. We need to recognize it. Everything has changed. Believe me, everything has changed. Social media, and I hate the word social media, personally, because it sounds like, oh, I'm going to put an ad on it. That's not what you do. It's a social platform. It's a place, right? Don't use it here. Social media is not about media. It's about a fundamental shift in the way that consumers think, feel, and behave. This consumer can make you or break you. And if you're not sure about that, ask Gaddafi. Can't find Gaddafi, so you better go and talk to Mubarak. Everything has changed, but nothing has changed. Ask Papu. Papu used to hang out in a Cafe Neon. And when he went to the Cafe Neon, what he was doing is, he was finding friends, he was liking stuff, he was commenting, and he was sharing. That's what we do on Facebook. It's the Cafe Neon on steroids. And if you think about the social web in that way, that's where you'll operate on the social web. has always been our strongest currency. Now, it's word of mouth on steroids. That's not my statement. It comes from a genius guy called Gary Vaynerchuk, who I had the pleasure of meeting when I chaired a conference on the social web recently in Turkey. Genius guy, and I want to introduce him to you. Gary Vaynerchuk took the family business, it's a wine business in New Jersey. He took the family business from 3 million in 2005 to 45 million in 2010. How he did this was social media. That's what he did. He used the social web. Gary has since become world famous as an author. Okay? He charges $45,000 to speak for 30 minutes, by the way. It's not bad money. And he's now set up a company where he's consulted, it's like Pepsi Cola, Quaker, and all the big American giants on how to do what he did on the internet. He knows his stuff. Now, Gary has got a thing called the Wine Library. That's the name of his business, by the way. And he's got a channel called Wine Library TV, where he reviews wines. The fellow on the left is a German guy who might be here. Marcus, are you here? Marcus is not here. Marcus Stoltz is a German who moved to Greece and he's become a wine exporter. And Marcus got on a plane and he flew to New York and he went to see Gary Vaynerchuk. And he took with him 3 bottles of wine. Okay? And he said to Gary, try this stuff. Gary tried this stuff, and here I'm going to comp one of the wines. Smelling this wine makes me say, oh my God. That's Gary Vaynerchuk talking, okay? This nose is like spectacular. Put a New Jersey accent on top of that, okay? And he was talking about Nostos Alexandros red wine from Crete. This was in May 2010. Now look what happens. This thing appears on this free platform that is established, a very cheap video, which doesn't cost much. And all of a sudden, some guy watches this thing, and what he does is he makes a comment, and he decides to travel to northern Greece, because he's a wine fanatic, and he goes up there, and he spends some time traveling around, tasting various wines. Okay? Then this guy, on his own travel blog, writes about this. And he talks about the great hotel he stayed in, and how good the food was, and people are reading this. Okay? So think of that effect that's happening over here. And it's not an ad, it's somebody whose opinion I value telling me things. Okay? That's how it works. It works remarkably well. By the way, the cost of all this stuff? 0. Gary's got a book called The Thank You Economy. I suggest it to anybody. It really is a great guide to how you should behave online to make sure that these kind of things happen. I'll give you a couple of things that he says. He says you can't shout online. You can't act like a commercial. Can you imagine if you're in the cafe and somebody walks in trying to be like a TV commercial? You're going to say, do me a favor, get out. You're going to go inside politely. The one thing that I want to point out is this. Don't promise anything on the internet if you can't deliver. Because this kind of person will not forgive you. And believe me, she will tell her friends, who will also tell their friends, who will also tell their friends. And I've got such a case up here. This poor guy in Syros decided to, well, he didn't decide anything. He had some customers there who didn't like his hotel. Look what happens. You can't read it. The first one, dirty, dingy rooms with lazy liars and thieves running it. I want my money back. That's not good. A disgrace, a bad reputation for Greece. Oops, our reputation goes down. No. Disappointing. What does this one say? Terrible experience. Awful and unacceptable. I mean, this guy's got one bad review after the other. He should close down. Right? He's got a problem, this guy. But people read this stuff. People go to TripAdvisor. I think Yanis was talking about 50 million people. 50 million views. I mean, people go there. John also spoke about the next big thing as being the use of social media. And I was really interested to see what Four Seasons has done over here. Now, Four Seasons, as you all know, is a huge global chain of hotels, premium. And they are now really, they've launched a state-of-the-art website. In my opinion, which is superb. It came out 2 2 weeks ago. And I want to take you a bit through this because it's interesting. When you go in, you can choose different parts of the world, right? So let's say I click on the Seychelles. The first thing I see is not just the hotel, but I see also the destination. Okay? And that recognizes something on the internet. People are browsing. People don't say, okay, I'm going to Greece, I'm now looking for a hotel. People say, I'm going on vacation. What looks cool? And they might find a hotel in a setting that's just perfect. And they'll buy it, they'll make decisions on the spot. Whereas in the traditional world, I want to go to Greece, I need a hotel. Not like that anymore. It's changed. So on this site, you'll always see a beautiful picture of the destination, and it starts with that. Okay? So here's one for New York. The next thing on this site, which is very interesting to note, is at the bottom there, that red box, not all people are browsing. There's some that say, I want to book a room. So don't take them through long processes to get to the booking engine. It's there. It's sitting right there. It's always there, no matter where you are. The most significant thing that they did, and this is really very courageous, they have integrated social media. You see that thing at the bottom there, reviews at a glance? Now what happens in there is streaming in real time. You're getting comments from Twitter, you're getting comments from TripAdvisor, from Facebook. Okay? So if you're the guy in Syria who's got a problem, right? If somebody comes to your site to come and book a room and say it's a terrible experience, risky. Very risky. And then those links go straight through onto Facebook pages, Twitter feeds, and of course TripAdvisor, right? State of the art. I think it's really brilliant stuff. And it's the first time that a major chain has made that big step of fully integrating social media. The nice thing about the web is you can do this yourself. It doesn't take zillions of euros. I've been involved in a really groundbreaking project in Limassol, which I just want to spend a couple of minutes on. In fact, one of the initiators of the project is sitting right here, Michael. This is a project that has caught the attention of branding people around the world. What it is, it's a private initiative started by 7 independent businessmen, Michael is one of them, who made a decision that they would finance the rebranding of their city. Okay? They looked at it as a startup operation. So they gave the seed money, if you like. The initial venture capital came from them. Okay? They approached me and asked me to manage this project. As soon as the project started to take form, we then spoke to local government, national government, and established private-public partnerships. Okay? But the most interesting thing about this project is being run completely on social media. It's involving everybody in the society. Everybody's free to make comments, to participate, to like, to not like, to share, so it becomes everybody's project. So at the end of the day, it truly represents the city. This is groundbreaking, and it's being spoken about by branding people all over the world, and I salute Michael and the people in Limassol for having the foresight to go that far. It's brilliant. I want to close by saying one thing. We've got the richest DNA on the planet. It would be arrogant of us to think that we might destroy this country. No way. Those columns have been there for 3,000 years. They will be there. They will be there. The question is what will happen to us. It's arrogant to think we will destroy this country. And I remind you, Greece is the heart, the mind, and the soul of the Mediterranean. It's got a lot of that stuff inside. I feel we've lost touch with that in some way. We need to own this. We need to express this. We need to inspire and be inspired by this. And here I want to tell you another quick little Steve Jobs story. The line, think different, is grammatically incorrect. It should say, think differently. Okay? went to see the English to tell them that this was going to be the campaign. Guess what I heard? Over our dead bodies. It's grammatically incorrect. I said, thank you very much. I went to Tokyo. What did I hear there? We're Japanese, we all want to be the same, which is true. I went back to California, said to Steve, we've got a problem. But he said, screw the Brits, screw the Japanese. That's the way we speak in California. We've got to find the way that we speak in Greece and share it together.